All right, y'all. So we back with another Reiki in the real world chat. And these concepts or topics started off as practical ways for me to link the benefits of Reiki to the practicality of the lived experience, to the tangible benefits that can be seen in your waking life, so to speak, quote unquote, for lack of a better words, and so on and so forth. With these concepts, I started off with real concrete examples like sciatica or hypertension. Um, I think there might have been one other practical chat or article that I did. But then I branched out to start doing some more conceptual, more like my hypothesis on what the link between Reiki and the concept would be. So, for example, psilocybin or psychedelics in Reiki, or the Great Resignation movement in Reiki, and I think I also did environmental justice in Reiki, and I talked about how those were linked. Those were articles that I wrote and can be found on my websites, LinkedIn, um, IG. I'm sure I have the posts up. Until it came to the longer post about like how to pick a Reiki practitioner and what is energy healing and why it is important, which those longer form articles are on my website and on my LinkedIn page. Okay, so moving forward, I am going to, for the remainder of the topics that I had, put it in a discussion form, talk through the topics instead of writing them down. I am a great writer. I love to write. Is the easiest way for me to express myself and get it out in a clear way. It's a helpful way for me to and to organize, order and to organize my thoughts. However, we're going to challenge ourselves to speak on these concepts in a way that makes sense to me. And hopefully it'll make sense to you. Okay. So, um, this topic is, what is the aversion to leisure and wellness? And with the caveat being in Black and Brown communities, because we don't see, or at least I haven't seen, mind you, I'm not white, so I can't really speak on their lived experiences bar for bar, but they don't have too much of a resistance towards leisure and wellness. It's built into their day-to-day life. It is one of the things that they look forward to most: family vacays or spa days, chiropractic visits, salon visits, so on and so forth. It is. And also, it is seen as something that is for more of the affluent, but I really don't want to bring socioeconomics into the discussion, because there are free forms of wellness and leisure that everyone can tap into, forms that have been here for centuries. So there's no excuse as to why one would be so adverse to taking the time off. What I see as it pertains to the Western Hemisphere and how we view wellness and leisure, it is seen as earned and not entitled entitlement. So you earn your right to go on a vacation, or you earn your right to go into a routine chiropractic visit or massage, Swedish massage, or any other therapeutic modality, or you earn the right to seek therapy or to, you know, uh, seek some mental health resources. When you earn all these things, right? You earn all this access to wellness and leisure when you sacrifice yourself in the name of fill in the blank. So, in the name of a relationship, in the name of a work space or work dynamic, in the name of motherhood, in the name of fatherhood, in the name of whatever, you fill in the blank, right? But it's not until you sacrifice yourself or let yourself die on the hill for somebody else, reach total burnout, and survive, right? You have to survive all of this because some people will hit their breaking point and unfortunately not make it back from that, in order to, I guess, take advantage of the leisure and wellness services. Um, we also, that also makes sense when you take a look at our healthcare system where we don't do preventative care in the West, we do palliative care. So there's no incentive for you to live a healthy lifestyle, to have a healthy workout regimen, to eat foods that promote vitality and have regenerative qualities. We're not incentivized to take mental health days or to seek therapy. There's no incentive in that. The money is, once you are sick, how many pills can we prescribe to you? How many times can we get you to go to the pharmacist? Because, I mean, whatever, believe what you want to believe. I know there's a lot of people out here are just like, sensory information overload. I get it, I understand, but there's resources out there that you can read. It's very clear, how our healthcare system is set up in comparison to other countries. Please read a book, read a documentary. I don't really want to go back and forth about, you know, facts. So moving on, if that's the case, and that's a society that, we've all been indoctrinated into and that we've all been conditioned under, then the aversion is just really conditioning, where leisure and wellness is not something that is necessary until it's necessary. So people don't leisure, or people don't, check in on their mental health unless there is a problem. We wait until we hit a wall, or we wait until we burn out to then say to ourselves, this needs to shift, this needs to change. I can't continue doing this hard or this long, or under all this pressure. Now, the funny thing about burnout, breaking points, episodes, is there's usually signs that your body will give you. And if not your body, we'll stick with the practical aspect of it. There are signs that your body will give you to let you know that you need to chill on what you're doing. Whether it is aches, pains, discomforts, certain feelings in your gut. I, for me, my gut tells me a lot about my surroundings, right? If I feel strong in my gut, feel solid, you know, um, is usually a safe environment, usually a safe space for me to express. And, there's a certain level of security in that feeling. However, when my gut feels off, um, feels like a tight knot or a tight ball, there's usually some resistance, and that resistance typically can stem from fear or feeling insecure in your current environment or your current circumstance. Fill in the blank. At that point, if I'm using that as an example myself, I would then check into why I feel either or. It's good to also check in with yourself about why you feel good. What about this space feels good? And try to like catalog or make sense of what it is. It's like Mad Libs or, this equals this, like formulaic in that sense, so that you can have an internal database of this feels good because of these reasons. You can quickly or become quicker in making decisions, not based on any external factors, but you will be better equipped to make quicker decisions for your highest good based on internal evaluation. On the flip side, if you're in certain situations, circumstances that make you feel uncertain, again, going back to the feeling that I spoke about, where there's tight knots, um, wrenching, like a gut wrenching feeling, then you want to take survey of your surroundings again in that same vein. Um, and really taking note of what is causing that discomfort and also the duration of how long you've been tolerating something. Because, I mean, those gut feelings don't necessarily, I mean, it can indicate imminent danger, but it's not set up. I mean, we don't live in the wild anymore. Like, we live in a society with, we're, I mean, we live in a society, okay, with buildings, cars, all the first world things. Who gets access to them? That's a different story. But we're at a place where your survival skills don't encompass looking out for a wild boar or deer or excuse me, bears or T-Rexes, this, that, and the third. Like you're not in that space to where you need to be, on guard, right? So those gut wrenching feelings that you feel have probably been there and you've just been ignoring it. So it doesn't mean that you're in imminent danger. It means that you have just been putting up with certain spaces and places that are not conducive to your best self. It won't allow you to fully express. It doesn't hold space for you to show up as is. You probably don't even feel safe in that space expressing if you have if you're struggling with anything mentally, emotionally, physically. Everybody wears unseen wounds that you can't necessarily see just by looking at them, um, and not but there's a certain level of like loneliness, and repressed emotion that can happen, neglect that can happen to self when you constantly have to like hide or mask how you're feeling, mask how you're really doing. That can cause issues for you in the long run. The silver bullet to all of this is you do not have to wait for anybody to give you permission to focus on your wellness or to leisure. It is your life. You do what is best for you. You do what makes you feel good, and you stand 10 toes on it. I mean, that's all I can say about the wellness and leisure topic. That's my stance on wellness and leisure. I don't think that is something that people should fear or because then you have some jobs that'll retaliate if you take too many days off. If everyone get in your business, or even I was at this one position where there was it was stated on paper that it was a hybrid position, and that you would have set days in office, set days out of office. And I'm having a conversation with one of my supervisors, and there's this deadline that she needs to meet, and she wants me to give up a remote day in order to come in. And I said, I'm not going to be able to do that. We agreed upon the 3 days in office, the 2 days remotely, and I would like to honor that. And I would also like to keep the days the same, you know? And she replied, well, can I ask why why you don't want to switch days? I was like, I would rather keep that information to myself. Don't let nobody bully you out of information either. Like there's nobody's business why you're deciding to take a day to yourself, while you're deciding to take your PTO that you got stacked up, while you are deciding to take all 10 days of your vacation or just 5 days of your vacation. I just put in the request and you approve it. And that's it. What is all this other stuff? You're not my parent. You're not my mom. I mean, you damn sure not a guardian to any, you know, job place, especially when I'm speaking about leisure and wellness, especially those places. You do not owe them any explanation as to why you need those days to yourself, because they do not have to give you no explanation if they let your ass go. So don't give them you don't have to. We not friends, especially out here in the West. We not friends. Let me come to work, do my job, and go home. This extra stuff, this monitoring stuff of when I can take days, when I can't, what I'm doing, is, you know, you have some coworkers, and this is why I'm not a 9 to 5 girl. Okay, we a militant universe girl. Period. Because I don't do this whole going to work telling everybody what I got going on. Been there, done that. Got several T-shirts, scars, branding. Okay, bullet wounds. Stop going to work telling everybody your business. And even when you're sharing stuff online, please be mindful. Like if you're doing wellness and leisure for yourself, do it for yourself. Keep it to yourself. That's a whole nother topic. Before I go off on a tangent, I'm gonna leave it there. Do the wellness and leisure for yourself. It is not a dog and pony show. It should not be a fashion statement. It shouldn't be a on trend statement. Oh, look where I'm at. Look, do your wellness and leisure for yourself. Please keep people out of your business. Keep people out of your healing journey. Do your healing. If you want to share your testimony, that's another thing. But just kikiing like, oh, I'm here. This is a much needed break. Don't nobody need to know all that. Take your break. Go take your break quietly. Okay, I'm really about to go off on a tangent. That concludes our Reiki in the real world chats about what is the aversion to wellness and leisure. Okay.